I'm José E.Latour, President of American Venture Solutions. American Venture Solutions has been providing financial service support in EB-5 in Vietnam for almost 7 years. We have over 100 investor families that we've been providing guidance to and that we've established very close relationships with. We're a small regional center and a small operation, but we do our very best to stay close to our clients and to be responsive to investor questions. As any of our investors watching can tell you, we're very responsive with email, but with the ability to communicate a larger message beyond our immediate investor group, we're starting a YouTube video series in which we will be receiving questions from interested prospective investors, people considering investment in the United States, or even our own clients. And when we receive those by email, I will, on a regular basis, come on YouTube and tell you what I can. And hopefully this will add to our ability to provide a better service for our customers. If you want to email any questions to us, and no question is too tough, if I can answer it, I will. If I cannot, I will not. You can send it to AVS at avseb5.com. We will review them and we'll pick those questions that we think are of the most interest to most people, and we'll hopefully get you some answers through YouTube that are more personal and more responsive. So let's see what we can find here in terms of questions that are common or rather helpful to the group. Okay, so here's one. Hello, Mr. Latour. I heard that Congress has just extended the time on the funding bill until December 22nd, 2017, and it seems that there is still no information about EB-5 reform. I would like to ask, as an expert in investment immigration, what do you think about this event? What could happen to the future of the EB-5 program? If there's a question that I've asked more than any other question, that's probably it. So that's as good a question as we can start with, I would say. The question is really about what's going on right now, but to understand what's going on right now, you have to look at the history of the program. The EB-5 visa was created way back in 1990, and the individual EB-5 investor, the investor who goes and opens his or her own business and creates 10 direct jobs in the United States, that is a permanent part of the EB-5 law in the United States. The regional center program, which is what AVS EB-5 does and all the other regional centers with projects, that was created later, and it is what is called a pilot program. That means that it's sort of a test program and that it needs to be renewed on a regular basis. The program was initiated several years after the EB-5 law was created in 1990 and 91, and even though it's been about 25 years, the program is still being renewed on a temporary basis. What's happened over the years is every time that the regional center program has gone to expire, there's been two groups fighting about what needs to be done with the EB-5 regional center program. The majority of the EB-5 regional center industry involves very, very large regional centers with huge projects that have relied primarily upon Chinese immigration agents to funnel investors to the United States. About 90% of the investors, at least historically, have been coming from China. As most of you know, China has a backlog right now. The China backlog, along with the continued abuse of the targeted employment area provisions, has created a very strong and powerful EB-5 industry lobby that is resistant to changing the law. That means that smaller regional centers like American Venture Solutions, who really do have projects in very poor areas, we are competing with the larger regional centers that may be in the middle of a very rich part of New York City or Miami, and they claim to be in a poor area. Those reforms are coming, but because the great part of the EB-5 industry doesn't want the price to go up and doesn't want there to be a change, they still want to claim to be in a targeted employment area, they spend a lot of money. So what's been happening over the years in order for the situation to get settled is there hasn't been any changes and there haven't been any reforms. Essentially, the EB-5 program, as important as it is for my business and for those of you who are considering EB-5, it is a tiny part of a very complicated U.S. political scenario at the moment. That meaning that the continuation of the existence of the EB-5 program all the way to today, and I'm recording this on the 21st of December, 2017, tomorrow night at Washington time, midnight, Friday night on the 22nd, the EB-5 program is right now supposed to expire again. But the reason it's expiring isn't because it's EB-5, it's because EB-5 is one of many, many, many programs in a government spending bill that the politicians in the United States are fighting over. The question really that you're asking here is, what do I expect? What do I see in the future? I can tell you this. About a year and a half ago, I had questions as to whether EB-5 was going to continue. The election of Donald Trump as president, his ties to EB-5, and the proven power of the job creation that EB-5 dollars have brought to America have led me to believe that there will not be an elimination of the program. I think that what's going to happen, if not in the next 24 hours, certainly in the next few days, there will be a continuing resolution that once again extends the EB-5 program as it is, without raising the price and without making the needed changes to the targeted employment area abuse that I'm describing. There are two probable avenues of change. Right now, the U.S. government, the Department of Justice, has plans in the spring of 2018 to issue a series of specific regulations that are designed to increase the price very substantially on the EB-5 investment, and also to address the cheating on the targeted employment areas. That's one way that the law may change. The other way that the law may change is if the Senate and the House of Representatives, if the politicians get together and create a new version of the EB-5 law so that they can control these particular changes. Which one will win, we do not know, but the fact that the Department of Justice has accelerated its expected date of the regulatory changes to reform EB-5 suggests that people really are tired of the abuse. Right now, the fight will be how many more dollars have to come in. My conclusion from this is there will be no retroactive impact on future changes. So those of you who invest under the current protocol, if you invest in a regional center today that isn't really in the targeted employment area, and they're corrected after whatever new law or regulation changes, I do not believe that the government is going to come back and change how it affects you. If they raise the price of the investment, I don't think they're going to go back if you've already invested and said, we need more money. I do believe that if you are someone who has decided that EB-5 is the right solution for their family's U.S. immigration plan, the time to do it is now. If you're undecided, I don't want to tell you to go do it. But if you're decided, the price is only going to go up and it's only going to get more complicated. Hopefully that at least gives you a sense of my opinion. There's a lot of us with opinions, and as time moves forward, we'll find out who's right and who's wrong. One of the problems that's happening in relation to the continuing extension of EB-5 is that a lot of our competitor regional centers are using that to try to pressure people into investing. IIUSA is the national organization for regional centers, and recently they issued a statement to all of their members saying, listen, you should not be telling people that the price is going to go up and all these other things to get them to invest now, because we don't know what happens ahead. So the more responsible EB-5 centers and projects that you talk to are going to tell you what I'm telling you. Hey, we don't know what's going to happen, but we know the price is going to go up at some point. If someone is holding a gun to your head and saying you have to invest now because it's going to go up immediately, that's not true. So just make sure you do your homework. So there you have it, a summary of what I think is going to happen with EB-5. Please send whatever questions you have to avs@avseb5.com. We'll look them over, and we will see you again soon on our next YouTube video. Have a good holiday.